Blessed ones, happy new year. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. This is the 2019 hip hop rap album review. And I'm not going to be long on this video. I did a rundown, made a list of all the albums that I personally liked. 19 albums, and a couple of milestone albums for 2019. And in no particular order, I have a list of artists that I'm going to share with you. And those artists are Wale, Wow, that's crazy, Dreamville, Revenge of the Dreamers, Rhapsody, Eve, Obi Trice, the Fifth, Aaron Cole, Not by Chance, Griselda, WWCD, Logic, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, Dave East, Survival, Rod Wave, Ghetto Gospel, Roddy Ricch, Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial, Under Gods, Jim Jones El Capo, Joel Ortiz Monday, Game, Born to Rap, Big Crit, Crit is Here, NF, The Search, Joe Moses, Westside, and Focus 80 Show. Now, to really be blunt, a lot of these albums was great. A lot of these albums were important. I didn't really rank these albums based on just bars or whatnot. And to be honest, just certain things that I enjoyed, whether certain albums were, just all bars, certain albums were, just, made it, I was feeling certain bars that I related to. But I didn't really, if I must pick my top three albums of the year, I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm gonna have to say Obi Trice the Fifth. I'm gonna have to say Rhapsody, and I'm gonna also have to say this one was real tough, but I'm gonna say Game, Born to Rap, and there was a lot of returns, a lot of sequels, a lot of trilogies that came also, which is I'm going to do with the milestone. The milestone albums were Rick Ross, Port of Miami 2, which was a awesome album. Young Jeezy, Thug Motivation 104, another great album. Cameron, Purple Haze 2. Now mind you, all these three albums, they were actually, the first and the original albums, came out past decade, like 04, 05. Then I also have, Summertime Shootout 3 with Fabulous. Chinks Take 5 with Tory Lanez. Young Money Yon, Virginia Native, Street Gospel 4. Nas Lost Tapes 2, Lil Kim 9, and also Kanye West Jesus is King, which I did a review on before. Now, what I will say is again, because these are just my personal favorite. You know what I mean? There's a lot of music that was released this year, a lot of great albums that I actually enjoyed and liked. But you know, this is just my opinion on just a review, and it's not even really like a real review. It's just me sharing my favorite albums of the year. And like I said, I have 19, but I actually have more. But you know, I had to put some of them in a category because you see, there was certain albums that you know that was real good, but I didn't want to like over accessitize it. Um, but yeah, man, I wanna, and I really want to praise a moment. Nas, man, like you know, he comes in and out a lot of times, and I have to like, you know, I have to really say, like I said again, he's like my favorite rapper. You know, him, Jay, Button, but yeah, Lost Tapes too, man. It would have went on, you know, this goes on my milestone albums of the year because again, Nas is, you know, you really can't do a you really can't put Nas in like the same category of a lot of these rappers. Like I said, I mentioned, you know, other veterans like Cam, um, Ye, Jeezy and Ross, who I feel are vets now, even with the game. You can't put them, you know, I can't put Nas, you know, in that same, you know, field because you know he's just a different meaning to me. And out of all those albums that I picked, that I chose, that the all those 19 albums that I chose, and I said it was between Rhapsody, Obi, Trice, and um Game. You know, I was really going back and forth between Game and Aaron Cole because Aaron Cole, for those of you who are not, for those of you in hip hop who are not familiar with Aaron Cole, he is a Christian rap artist, and I know sometimes we frown upon those artists. We put them in like a whole different category, but that's hip hop also. You know, we can't exclude, you know, can't exclude that. So you know, he had a great album. A lot. It was an album that really touched my heart. Um, and I know it's a little bit different than the other reviews that I had did. You know, I'm just, you know, the music playing in the background, which is off of Nas Lost Tape 2 album, No Bad Energy. Great record, phenomenal record. But I just wanted to just give my list, give my, you know, my top favorite albums of the year. And if I forgotten it, it was a lot that I had actually forgot. That's how I ended up doing the, you know, the 19 albums instead of like, you know, just the, you know, the 5 or the 10 because again it's, you know, it was 2019, so I think it was fair enough to do that. Like I said, a lot of music came out this year. And although these, and also like I think, you know, just by me being a fan of the game, fan of hip hop, I have to tilt my hat off to Meg the Stallion and the Baby, who I feel were, you know, last year's MVPs. You know, I'm not a big fan of theirs, but I like a lot of their music more than I dislike their music. So you know, it's, you know, I go, you know, I think they deserve, you know, some, you know, acknowledgement. And also I have to address the Kanye West Jesus is King album again because, like I said, it's hip hop, and he's part of the culture, so it's only fair for me to put that in that conversation as well. Now, I did have like I said I had them all written down, and I said I'm not gonna do. It's not like a real album review. I just wanted to share with you all. Again, like I said, my list. But listening to a lot of these albums back, there's I'm really like I never thought I would say this because again I'm very I'm diverse. I listen to all type of music, all type of hip hop and rap and everything, and women, youngins, um, old school, new school. But man, like I said, like Wale had a phenomenal album. Um, what you heard at the beginning of this video was Wale Sue Me. Like I said, he actually had like two, two great records on the charts from what I understand, which is Sue Me and on Chill. And but like I said, I never thought I would say this and say that just listening, just listen just as far as just as far as what when it comes to the culture, just like rapping and the message and just the energy. Like I said, the Lost Tapes 2 was was released some months ago, and I mean it's easy to sometimes forget um some other albums that came out. Like I said, like Two Chains had an album out this year. Young Thug, Gucci, um, who also had great albums. But let me just say this. Rhapsody, Rhapsody may be my favorite album that came out in 2019. Just the fact that she had you know, named her album Eve, and then like the track list with all these strong black women and inspirational black women is just it is so important. And I mean, I'm gonna be honest, man. Like again, Nina, Cleo, Aaliyah, Oprah, Whoopi, Serena, Tyra, Maya. I don't know how to say this other name. Abatai, Merly, Raina's Interlude, Michelle, Amon, Passput, Sojourner, Afeni. A lot of them I know. There might be like two or three, two maybe I don't know. But Rhapsody, man, like maybe I'm not too in sync. Maybe I'm not too in sync with the and it like I used to be. But I think Rhapsody needs her. She needs more credit. And let me take this moment for a second. Speaking of, is also another impactful moment in 2019 was the passing of Nipsey Hussle, who died April 1st of 2019. This year it's a new year now, and it's almost been a year since he left. Um, man, it's wild how someone you don't know personally can impact you is so much because just from me seeing what he was doing, and like I said, Victory Laps again was another great album of the previous year, 2018, Victory Lap, and I feel like he was finally about to, with that album that was actually gonna, it this everything that he was doing for his community and for the game of hip hop. I feel like he was actually really about to hit that height that was going to go beyond, like just beyond. And I remember when Pop died. I was younger, and it's kind of wild that I said this before. When he passed, like when I remember when Tupac passed. I was younger. I was still in. I was middle school. 90 when he died in 96. Um, man, what? How old, man? No, actually, I wasn't in middle school. I was. I wasn't 10. I was even. I can't remember what month he passed in. But anyway, I just know that I was in elementary school or whatever, but I was still aware of what was going on. But when Nipsey Hussle had passed, it was kind of wild because it was wild because I was actually thinking about him maybe like 2 days prior. Because I was because like Crenshaw was one of my favorite projects of his, and I think I was not like I don't know why it was. Sometimes you just be thinking about certain artists and certain things, and when I woke up, well, I was on Twitter, and then I seen somebody say "Rest in peace, Nipsey," and I was like, "Huh?" This is like I said, 2 days later. So rest in peace, Nipsey. So then I'm sitting here looking, I'm googling something. Then it's like Nipsey was shot and killed, and it's just for like when I seen the second tweet, and then when I looked on the online, and I seen it, and then I just like my heart dropped, and I was like, man, I don't. I mean, I didn't cry, but I felt like, man, I just felt a certain part of me, leaving. Like, man, this, and because like I said, he did a lot, and it was just so impactful for those who actually knew him, and it was a sad moment, man. Like I never felt this way, and I'm like, is this how people felt when Pac left? Is this how people felt when Biggie left? It's like one of them things where it's like he was coming to a point where he was about to be bigger than his music. And like I said, I'm not one of the people who's gonna say he was one of my you know top five favorite rappers or whatever. But like I said, he had dropped a phenomenal album. Just months prior, and he was definitely doing things. So I just want to continue to pray for the family and all of those close to him. Dave East had Nipsey on his album Survival, which was a great record. Rick Ross, another great record. DJ Khaled, another great record. But yeah, and that's why I think even with that, I think that's the reason why that's probably why I feel as though I think Rhapsody was probably the best album of the year. Um, and I never thought I would say that because again, like I said, there's hip hop is still a male dominated space. It's very hard to find the relativeness in women when you're talking music or whatnot. But it's just like she just makes great music, and like I said, I felt something very deep in my spirit when I heard that album, and I'm actually gonna have to listen to it again because, like I said, I don't do typical reviews because it's like it's just a lot that I listen to pretty much almost everything. I try to give everybody a chance. Like I said, this might have been some I missed. There was a lot of young people who delivered. Like I said, Roddy Rich had a great album. He was like I said, he was on this list of mine. YBN Corday, another great one. Someone who I didn't mention who's been killing it also with the features and also had a great album was is Gunna. And not to get it confused with West Side Gun, who was part of the Griselda group with Benny the Butcher and Conway the Machine, who what I understand is signed to Shady Records. And their album again, this was one of the albums I think when a lot of people when Game album dropped, they was like, okay, Griselda's album dropped that same day, and they was like that one kind of like knocked it out because Game's album was like again to me that was just a great album. He came delivered on this one. Not from what I understand, it's supposed to be his last one. But Griselda, their album WWCD. Um, I mean it can mean what would Christ do or something. I don't know, but it's their album was gritty, man. Like they came with straight rapping, for real, like rapping. And that was like I said, it was a little that album was just that album was tough, man. It was tough and rough, and it like I said, that's why I put that on the list because at the end of the day, man, like it's still like I said, it's I gotta be fair, it was hip hop rap. So yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about that. Um, and like I said again, I'm a little unorthodox, not as organized as most channels. You might have guys like the Joe Budden podcast, Complex, um, shoot, even should you have Hot 97, Breakfast Club, radios, and all like all these different platforms. I'm just a everyday guy who loves hip hop. And like I said, the milestones, the Rick Rosses, the Young Jeezys or Jeezys, whatever you want to call them, the Camrons, and even the Nas Fabulous, like these guys came they came hard. Some you knew were coming, some you didn't know were coming, but they came with it. Lil Kim even dropped that 9. And you gotta think, like I said, the reason why I mentioned Young Money Young, who is a Virginia native, Norfolk native from my hometown, so to say, one of Pusha T's guys. Like I said, this guy, he like within the last 5 years, he was dropping music consistently. Young Money Young, he's from the neighborhood that I live in now, Berkeley. I ain't from Berkeley, but like I said, I've been following his music. I don't go out much, but like I said, I've been following his music. Like I said, Street Gospel 4. 5 is coming soon, so I'll be on the lookout for that. So if y'all never heard of Young Money Young, y'all can check him out, man. Like he's good. Like I said, he's like, man, look, and again, he's another guy who rap. He don't rap like these other guys. It's like he's talking to you. You know what I'm saying? He comes with that real. And just like with my buddy, my pal, my bro, Foe, 80 show, that was that one came, snuck up on, cause like I said, he released that like last week. Not even was it? I don't even think it was a week ago, but he came with it, and like I said, to me, it was a short and sweet, but I think like I told y'all in the review, he's gonna come, like he's a certain way, and yeah, so that's pretty much that pretty much sums it up with that, man. Like this is just pretty much how I felt, my list of albums of the year. I don't want to get too deep and do like albums of the decade, artists of the decade. Um, but I will say there were some records that I like, which I'm not gonna get into. Need like I said, I didn't consumed a lot of music this year alone, let alone a decade. But I consumed a lot of music. Like I said, I listened to hip hop, R&B, pop, EDM. I listened to a lot of music, consumed a lot. So it's like I'm not gonna be sitting here taking the time to make a whole you know analysis on songs because I have to again require a lot more, which I'll do at some point, but not today. I'm trying to think if I forgot anything else. Yeah, man, there was some great albums. I had to go back and look at a lot of some of these albums. Like I said, Two Chains, Rapper Go to the League. That was a good album. Young Thug, Just for Fun. Cool album. I'm not a big heavy on Young Thug. Like I think he can rap. He has fun in his records and stuff, but like I'm not a real big fan. But these were just certain, like this list that I had were certain artists with albums who I like top. Like I said, it's a lot of music just in hip hop alone. Like I said, I had 19, and I had to put milestone just for that. So that's like a total of like 20 something albums that could have been on anybody's album of the year. You know, and I picked Rhapsody's Eve because of, like I said, how it made me feel. I'm not a woman, but I am a proud black man, and I love my woman. Rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. Rest in peace to Tupac. Two guys who were definitely about empowering their people, their neighborhoods and stuff. And I think Rhapsody going to be definitely a force to be reckoned with. With the Queen Latifahs and the MC Lights. And you gotta think, there's more than just Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. You have some other women who are doing the thing. Like I said, Meryl the Stallion, Doja Cat. But like I said, Rhapsody, I think she's the if they always want to pit the women together with, well, this one comes, like with the Lauryn Hills and again the Queen Latifahs. They have the Nicki and Ken stuff. But Rhapsody, you can put her up there as the top, like one of the top elites of rappers. Period. Big period. Um, and you know, I don't, I don't want to prolong this any longer. So yeah, that's my 2019 review. Like I said, top three: Game Born to Rap, Obi Trice the Fifth, and Rhapsody Eve. And I want y'all to stop sleeping on Obi Trice, and maybe because he's not on the mainstream, but y'all need to stop sleeping on him. This is his fifth album. He's been in the game since like early 2000s, maybe before then. But I known of him since the early 2000s. Like I said, he was up there like with the G Unit, Shady Records, and all that stuff. Man, like he had a great album. And like I said, he was coming with bars, and it's like again, like I said, he's up there with the Royces and the Joe Buttons, and even like the Jays and Nas. Man, like he's in there. But I'm gonna get on out of here. Blessed ones. I'll be back with some more reviews. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed this review. Like this was just me expressing, giving y'all a little perspective.